Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, y'all, it's the powdered donut. Sorry I'm running a little late, but duty calls, you got to take care of it. Today, we have a very important guest. We have Kevon Miller, and the topic today is going to be the importance of the father in the home. Welcome, Kevon. Nice to see you again. Long time classmate. Grew up in the same neighborhood. Nice to reunite with people like that. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm not gonna complain. Thank you for having me. I'm just glad to be a part of something great. Yeah, it's been a long time, so it's good. It's always good to see old friends.
Right, right. That's good. And to know we still living, still saying good morning. That's a good thing.
Yes, that's a blessing. Yes, it is.
Well, let's get this kicked off. Great to have you. Okay, so you came to me with such a great topic until I was like, last week I was under the weather and I was like, this week, something else occurred. But no, we have to talk about this. It's so important to even want to talk about the importance of the father in the home because it's very, very, very it's very, what do you say, scarce. It's not discussed much, or it's not a big topic, or it makes. I've heard fathers say this makes them feel like nothing's important. Like Father's Day, oh man, that's a joke. Ooh, that's a joke. That's a joke holiday, and I just feel like that's wrong. The stuff that I hear, the things that I see, the gifts that are about compared to what Mother's Day, yeah. So it's a lot with fathers that I sympathize with. I'm not gonna lie because there's a lot of good suffering for the bad. I'll say so. What I've researched, first of all, involved fathers are essential for children in holistic environments and development. This offers a child to experience a unique parenting style. This promotes within a father and the children in the home emotional security, high self esteem, and better cognitive functioning. I believe in all that. I believe a mother and a father in the home is so important. It doesn't, some homes don't have it. It's not to feel any less than, but my parents, I'm fortunate to still have my mom and dad to this day. My mom is 77, my dad is 85. He just turned 85 last Friday, actually. But I'm fortunate enough to still have my parents. I do know the importance of a father in the home. My home was very real. I will say it was ran by my father. I can honestly say that. Not to say that's a bad thing or anything, but my father, he ran his home. He got to be the father in the home. Um, what do you think as far as right now, fathers in homes, Keaton, what do you think? Like, what's your opinion about it? Let's say.
Um, Having a father in the home is vital. It's very important. Because I grew up without my father, and mom did the best she could without my father being in the home. So when it got to a point in time in my life when I really needed my father the most, that it was like my mom couldn't do. She didn't have an answer for what I was trying to process and deal with. So I'm 16, got kept back in the streets, making bad choices, doing the wrong thing. And so, yes, mama taught me the right thing, gave me all the right answers, but I was still missing dad. So when I needed my dad the most, my dad wasn't there. Had my dad been there, I probably wouldn't have still been hanging on the corner with the guys because I was looking for that manly love, that manly support, that manly strength, that manly knowledge, wisdom that come from a father. I needed that, and my dad wasn't there. And so to fast forward to now, even back then, I still made bad choices. I dropped out of school. I got kicked out of school. I didn't graduate. So had my father been there and be in the role of a father, giving me them stern, tough, difficult situations, uh, scenarios, and giving me the right answers and the solution to my problem. That boy, you gonna stay in school, boy, you're not gonna do this, that, and the other. I needed that. to help me to make these young men choices. So now in my home is very important because an absent father can lead to early dropouts. It led to me dropping out. So the role of a father is very important in the home. And by me being in the home of with my kids, I'm there when my kids are not only just acting up, but when my kids have issues going on, when they need someone to talk to, when not only when they're sick, yeah, they know daddy go to work, but just spending time, just like not too long ago, I asked my baby boy, yeah, he punished from his video game and punished from his phone, but I say you can still watch TV, and I say, hey son, you want to come watch the movie The Goat? And he was like, yeah. So we sat down and watched The Goat together. We just watched the movie, we laughed, and so that is very important. Not only just paying the bills and buying clothes and things like that, but just to have that cue time of just you and your child where y'all can watch and you see that dad is not always about discipline. Dad is not always about structure.
Small
Dad is
things.
not,
It's the
yes.
real
So,
small things that are very important, and people do not. It like playing with a cardboard box in the yard with them. It sound dumb to other people. It's the best moment in the world for you. Swear to God.
yes. So it's very important. That's a great topic because I grew up in a single parent home.
Yeah, and
And
then let me ask you this too, and I'm gonna ask you. It's kind of off topic, but it's not. I've always said this: people that grow up. I'm not saying anybody's any less than them, so please nobody misunderstand me. But do you feel? How do you feel about people that grow up with a father in the home versus people that don't have a father? When you get out of the home and you start dating people and you start socializing with people and you're trying to marry people, me personally, I'm like, it's two different worlds. To date a man that didn't have a father figure in the house, and I'm a woman that still have a father figure in the house. It's been a, it's been a trial and true. I'm telling you, it's something. Not to discredit anybody, because sometimes I look at it like I did have a father in the house, but I don't know. Sometimes my feelings go there. Like, what if he wasn't? What would have been different, or what could have happened different? And so, I say that to say, because just because the father was in the home, it might not be great either. You know what I'm saying? It might not be. It might have been better, because people that get divorced, you know what? I hear a lot of young kids say now when they mom and daddy get divorced, you know what? They don't even care. You know why? Because I can go to my mama house and get these. I can go to my daddy house and get these. My stepmom gonna do this. My stepdad over here. Them kids got 4, 5 parents working for them. They just getting stuff, getting what they want. They don't care about a mom and daddy being in the same house, loving each other. Now, we used to cry about it. We used to cry about it. It used to hurt. Now, kids don't. I mean, it's another phase of life for them.
it just depends. You know what I'm saying? It really depends. Like I heard a young guy, we was talking to some young kids, and the guy was explaining that his dad was home, but he wasn't present. It's like he present, but he
Is that
absent at the
what we
same
talk
time.
about?
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
For
there's a
sure.
difference. That's a difference. So that you could be available but not available because you're so busy, you're so caught up in doing, working. You don't have any balance, so you don't have no time for you, the wife, or the kids. And guess what? That creates chaos in the home because all you're doing is just money, money, money. Money can't buy love. We need to sit down and talk to our kids, hear our kids out, because our kids are really dealing with certain things, and kids don't know how to process certain things. I was 16 years old and I didn't know how to process me getting kicked out of school, how I'm gonna graduate. I'm addicted to drugs, and it's so much going on. I'm hating my father. Why my father don't love me? He abandoned me. I'm his oldest child. So I feel like, look, man, what's really going on? So having a father present and available and making time for a kid, if a kid have certain issues and have certain problems to where I can talk to my kids about it. So it is a major difference to where, yeah, you could be a father in a household, but you're not really there. You don't know anything about your kid. You allow social media to teach the kids. You don't spend time with the kid. All you do is go to work, and that's it. But
Yeah.
it's very important to where I set that balance in the home. Now, not only I'm going to work, but I'm spending some time when you get out of school. How was your day? What's going on? How's everything going? Just checking on them. What can we do? Tuesdays, my wife and I, we go to most Tuesdays. We try to go to bring them to the movies, do some things. I'll come in there and talk to them, ask them how they doing. And so it is very important that though you may be in the house, you can still be absent. But I still believe that a father in the house that is present, active with the kids, communicating with the kids, showing love to the kids, doing certain things with the kids, taking them out for a drink, doing a walk, helping them with homework. That is very important because you're not absent, though you live in the same home. But I
So
told
the
I
daily
told
life
my
skills, daily life skills, that's all it is. That's not
yes.
even hard work.
No, it's not. It's just something that we're supposed to do. That's our responsibility.
Mhm.
That's the responsibility of a father. I told my dad when we got right, me and my dad, just so the people can know, me and my dad, we were great. Me and my dad, when I made 33, my dad blessed me. And ever since I made 33, I'm 45 now. For 12 years, me and my dad have been the best. So
Good,
me and
good.
my dad, we are great. And so I told my dad, like, Dad, your absence taught me to be present.
Oh, oh,
He
that's a
taught me to
word.
be present. So
Oh,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, yes,
because you wasn't there. I'm gonna be there.
yes.
Oh, now
So
that's
you
the
you taught yeah, you taught me a lesson, Dad. You taught me. So and I encourage my dad, he beat himself up behind it, but I say, Dad, we good.
yeah.
We good.
So yeah, yeah, you just gotta make him feel like no, so he won't feel guilty. Just keep him upbeat about it, and then y'all'll be good. But that's real. That's really good. That, and I tell people that all the time about opening your heart to, like, our parents aren't perfect, and we aren't perfect parents ourselves. I mean, I'm not saying we perfect. Like I told my mom, she did, not to take it off the subject, but she told me about being. I'm sorry, I wasn't a perfect parent to you, and something like that. And I'm like, you did the best you could. Like, I'm not gonna judge my parents because I went through parenting. It ain't easy. It's not easy. We try to make the best decision we can, but I will, like I say, taking it back to the fathers, I will take it there. I feel like parenting for fathers these days, it's just difficult sometimes. And it's only because the mom has the control when it's a split relationship. Of course, if the child going with the mom, then the dad has to be over here and wait his turn, to get, unless he got, what did they do? I'm sorry, the custody, like,
Split custody, yeah, split
yeah.
custody.
I
Joint
mean,
joint custody, yeah.
custody. But like I said, I'm just being serious. Me having a lot of, like, my guy cousins and just friends from school, just still friends with the same people, watching us grow up and them have kids and listening to their stories. And some of the stories are horror stories about being a father. Like, I'm so scared for, some men that have to do this because it turned into real live horror stories. But I did a reality check on some things, and I came up with presence over provision. Like you said, financial stability remains important. We know that. But fathers are viewed by engagement. So showing up for daily routines, like you said, school events, being there for emotional support rather than just to being a paycheck. Like, that's so important because men, I hear people out there looked at like, man, you just want money out of me. You don't want to spend no time with me. You set the platform for that. If you set the
Yeah.
platform for knowing, okay, before I ask my daddy for some money, I'm finna see if he all right. Or before I ask my daddy for some money, I'm finna see if I need to do something around the house, type stuff. The kids ain't getting it. They get, that's pretty much what they think. The dad, give me some money, dad, some money, dad, some money, dad. And so daddy feel like an ATM, feel like a
Yeah.
bank. But what's killing is, oh man, I done seen it happen. Don't let daddy have it. Oh man,
Or daddy
man,
say no. Or daddy
yeah.
say no.
Either daddy don't have it. Well, if daddy say no, it's a little easier because daddy got it probably, and just really saying, no, you're not getting it today. But to wanna have to get it, and daddy just don't have it. Dang, I done seen some. Woo. I done seen it. It can get to be tough because you didn't ever think that. Well, daddy paid all the bills. All the bills paid. We got lights, water, gas. We got mortgage paid. All that. I might not have it this week, but I have it next week. But at that very moment, kid gonna pitch your fit right then and there. Not even trying to consider that. Oh, well, maybe dad had to pay a bill, or maybe mom didn't have this and dad helped. It's never the consideration of that. It's just gimme, gimme, gimme. So
Yeah,
I know that can be a lot too. But like I said, um, emotion availability, manage emotions and communicate openly, be nurturing. So, oh, that's touchy. Not all men are um not all men are not nurturing. Let me say that. Some men are nurturing. I see some grown men. I've seen grown men take their 15, 16-year-old son. Actually, my a brother-in-law that I had in the past, because he's still cool. I don't like to say ex, but I remember him taking his son at 15 and kissing him on the cheek. He said, "That's my baby." I thought that was the cutest thing to see a
yeah.
man kiss his son and say, "That's my baby." Like, it's so cute. I've seen a few men do it, and it's so cute to me. Like, it's so loving for a man to still sit there and kiss their son and say, "That's my baby." Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. It's
Not
like
at all.
ever to kiss your son or to hug your son and let your son know, "I'm here for you, I got you," or your sons, however many you have. Like, I think that's so important for men to do that, and daughters too. But it's something about our young men that they need that molding. They need to know that my dad is a solid guy, and I want to be like him and better. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah,
So,
it's
but like,
nothing wrong with showing that side.
right. And like you said, you didn't, you grew up without a father. So when you did link up with your father, look at it now though. You're not even bitter. And that be my concern too. Out here with people and you're trying to socialize with people on a daily basis, but you see how you said your daddy did what he did, and then what did you do? You quit school, you was on drugs, you was just running, 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 because basically you looking for the attention you wanted your dad and you couldn't
Yeah,
have. Look at all the, like you said, look at all the platforms that you did wrong that you could. If you had your dad, you might not have done it. Now, is it something that we harp on? No. Look at you forgave him. You might not forget it, but you forgave him and you went on. And that's what builds relationships. Like, I'm not trying to make it out of a race thing, like for the black people, no. But in our race, I can speak on it because it's our race. I
yeah.
noticed that that's the problem for the black race. Like, if there's a problem, like if your daddy didn't take care of you, even right now, just like you said, you you found your dad and you made it right. There's nothing wrong with that. We're in our 40s, going into our 50s. I mean, I'm saying that as classmates and people back where we're from and stuff. But there's nothing. I don't care if you 60 years old, your daddy 80 right now. There's nothing with going and trying to, find them and talking. Yeah, they get stubborn in their older ages. I get it. But if you feel like that's something you need to do before one of y'all check out and leave the earth, that's what you should do. Whether it's
Reconciliation.
male
Yeah,
or
yeah.
female, like, reach out because sometimes you think your daddy don't love you, or you think your daddy. And I'm only going by, like I said, my dad is still in my life. He's always been there. But I'm hearing conversations, and so you might think your daddy don't love you. You might think your daddy mad at you. Or your daddy don't want you, and that very well may not even be the case. It's just a misunderstanding somewhere. So, people, if you got, I want people to know this. If your dad is somewhere near, or even if he's far, and you want to reach out and talk to your daddy, man, find your daddy, talk to your daddy. You don't never know. Life is not, I'm not saying life is short. I don't really use that statement. But life is, as long as God allow you to be here. So while
I
you're
mean,
here, you
because I didn't mean to
go.
cut you off, but because
No.
is at times like it seems like life is short, but life is like a vapor. One minute you're here, the next minute you're gone. So it's like a friend of mine, she had joined the church and everything, and her daddy didn't see eye to eye. But I was encouraging her to make it right with her daddy because you know how she was brought up with daddy, and
Mm-hmm.
so her dad ended up taking a sick, and she ended up going to Chicago, back to hometown because she lived in Houston. She went back to Chicago to go see dad, and they had a awesome time before dad ended up passing.
See?
And that's what I tell people. I say, sis, make it right. A lady gave me a book. She gave me a book on forgiveness. And I was in the church back then. I was in the church, and she was like, "You need to." I said, "I forgave my daddy, but I really did," and
Uh,
that's where the problem lies. I
yeah.
thought I really forgave him, but I really didn't. Because I tell people, if you really forgive, you're gonna forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tell people like, because we forget what we want to forget.
Yeah.
We forget the wrong that we do to people. So why we can't forget the wrong that others do to us?
Yeah.
And so uh she got it right. And that's why I tell anybody, I say, man, if your dad, your mom, whoever it is, if they're alive, get it right.
Yeah.
Get
For
it
real.
right. You know, get
For
it right because that's gonna help you. So whatever grudge, whatever bitterness, whatever root of bitterness, whatever malice, whatever you had that just that uneasy feeling, this a horrible feeling, get it right with them. And when I got it right with my dad, it's been beautiful. It's been
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. And you said a big word a while ago, malice. You got malice. Man, let me tell you something about malice in your heart.
Mhm.
This age is stressful to hold on to stuff. Man, you just getting older. You're getting older. So, and your father's getting older, and like, whoever this may be that we reaching out to today, because I'm sure somebody gonna hear this and know better. But you have to, you have to know that malice in your heart as you get older. And like I said, I can attest to this. Christmas Eve shingles. I was in the hospital last weekend. Hives really bad from head to toe. Like I've learned to let, and I'm not gonna lie, my dad in his elder age at 85, we are bumping heads because he has always been. I get it, and I don't know if I could address this today. We talking about fathers in the home, but as they get older, and I know people can relate to this, it's so hard because at 85, you're not who you were, daddy, at 40. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so it's a lot has changed for him. I'm trying to help him do things on the daily. Pride is in his way. So like it gets to be where I have to forget. You know what I'm saying? I gotta forget that he just said what he said. Cause okay, what we doing now? So like that's true. To hold on to grudges, especially with your parents. Like even if your parent didn't raise you, or even your parents in the street, locked up, whatever. If your parent is out right now and y'all able mind, able body, you should try to make it right with the parent. Now, if they ain't gonna act right and they just gonna go and be, well, then at least you tried. But you never know. You might get to know your mom, mom, even a mama. You might need to go, know your mom and dad before they leave this earth. It might not be too late. So I don't know, but that's another, that's a whole nother topic too, but it's important. Shared domestic labor around the house, like keeping the kids. Like if a man, if you want to go to your wife go to the grocery store and she leave the kids there, you're not babysitting them kids, them your kids.
that's
I've
my
heard
responsibility.
babysitting, like the world has made men feel like if they keeping their kids, they babysit them. Babysitters are somebody that ain't the mama and the daddy. If they ain't
Yeah,
the mama and daddy, that's a babysitter.
yes.
But a mom and dad is not never no babysitter. And so, I mean, you know what I'm saying? A babysitter mean you got options. I ain't never been a babysitter to my kids. I just never had the option. So that's why I'm like the child care, cleaning, cooking, all that around the house. If a man, if it's shared, then it takes the stress off the woman and then it's a shared responsibility. Both parties are working. Then you got the housework, the cleaning, the cooking, all that still need to be done. So just share it. And then it would make it so hard on one versus the other. So a man is I see that men will take on shared responsibility. Do you have shared responsibilities? You do that? Y'all
I
take it.
do. So because so now that that's a great topic because here it is that like my wife, she works 7 days on and 7 days off. So her 7 days work, I get up at 5, I get the kids up, cause she at work, she don't get off till 5. She go from 5 to 5. So she get up, she come home, she might make it home by 5:30. So if I'm at home, I gotta get the kids up, make sure that they getting ready for school, and then while she's at work, if we got extra. curriculum activities. My daughter playing volleyball. My oldest daughter play basketball. She running track. So I gotta make sure that I get there. And my oldest son might have to go to work. I gotta make sure I get to him, and then I gotta make sure I get to the baby, the two smallest kids, to make sure they got something to eat and make sure that they all taken care of. And so yes, I have shared. We have shared responsibilities. So when she's gone, I cover it. But the one thing is like I tell her, my cleaning it's not her cleaning. She get down. She get down with the get down. So,
It's a signature.
but
What's
but
that?
but I'm gonna pass I'm gonna pass inspection. I'm gonna
Right.
pass inspection. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pass inspection. I'm not gonna pass inspection with a C or or a B. You know what I'm saying? I get a B plus. You know what I'm saying? Or a A.
That's
A
when
A. And so you know I take care of that responsibility because it takes two. You know what I'm saying? So I have my part to where when she's not available, I got to get with the get it. I got to do what I'm supposed to do, and I step up to the plate and take care of my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's my kids too. So it's not just on her to do it. So while she's gone at night, when we come home, unless I'm just tired and I got a lot going on, I have my daughter. My oldest daughter, she'll get in there, clean the kitchen, do what she need to do, and help her dad out when I'm
mhm.
tired. And then I have to go to work. Then I got to do an early morning run. So if I got to get up at 12 or get up at 1 o'clock to be to work for 2, then I'm going to bed early. But we share uh our responsibility, our role as a parent. So it works, and it's hard if you know it's just one person in the house. If mama gone, then you gotta put all that weight on the child. So now this child 15 and they can't enjoy 15 or they can't enjoy they
Right.
12-year-old life a kid like why? Because they gotta step into they gotta feed, they gotta cook, they gotta learn how to cook, clean up, do the whole thing because the weight is on them. And so now they have to grow up fast and they don't have to just like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson didn't get to enjoy her childhood. He didn't have a childhood. So that's why his dream was Never Land, because it was something that he never had. And
Tell people
so
kid.
he never was a kid. He don't know what it's like to be a kid. And
So
sometimes that's what's going on.
wants to be a kid at 40 and have a amusement park because I guess he said before he leave this earth, I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some
Yeah.
kid fun. I get to do it. So he had the money to do it. It just seemed backwards. But I mean, if somebody want to experience being a child, then I guess they allotted that because that's the innocent part of life. And so if you didn't get
Yes.
to have it, I guess that's why he did what he did. But um yeah, that's true, but you make it sound easy though. You make it sound like because you guys know how you're working, what you need to do. If this she gone to 7 days on, you know that you got to take the responsibility. Like it's a cycle. It flows, and that's how households are supposed to go.
It's
They're not going to
going.
be perfect, but as long as it's flowing and everybody's contributing, yeah. Because like you say, just because you have kids at home and a lot of adults they put a lot of havoc on themselves because they don't make the kids do much. And then when it
Gotta
comes down,
delegate.
I need you to help me do this. Come on, your mom at work, man. Come on, do this. I'm telling you, I've heard it over and over with just me and my family, just period. Like, y'all clean up. Your mama coming home. I don't want to hear that. It's always, but it's funny because the kids I've seen it, they'll play on their daddy top for a minute. And then daddy get with them. Then it's like, okay, now y'all better stop playing. Let's go. But I mean, I feel like that's part of a home. Like, that's what makes the home versus what you do with mama versus what you do with dad. But as long as the kids are respectable and the household's flowing, I mean, I'm all for it. And balancing work, like men have an issue with having to balance work with family life. A lot of men are gonna do like refinery work or down that way, 10-hour, 12-hour days. But the mom may have a 10, 12-hour day too. So it's like the dad is really having to try to figure out where can he find the balance and also be the provider for the family. And I'm going into the next step with that. Remember when I was talking about breaking the stigma with stay-at-home dads? I do not have a problem with it. I do not see anything wrong with that. If a man and a woman agree that she's got it, she'll go out and make the money. The man is okay with that, and it's not just causing a lot of havoc for them. What's wrong with a daddy raising his kids? Nothing.
There's nothing,
Nothing,
nothing wrong
nothing
with it.
if it works for people, because people gonna have their opinion. Oh, he's sorry. He's sitting at home all day. You don't know what them people got going on in their house. Mind your business. Because maybe
Exactly.
their daddy needs to stay at home with them kids. I'm all for it. For a man being allotted the privilege to stay at home and raise his children, especially this day and time, a lot of young kids are doing this. I'm telling you, the dad is staying at home with kids, and the mama's going out and work. If that's what works for people, then leave it alone. Because I would love to know that men are actually literally staying at home and raising their kids. That's a good look. But I
It
know
is.
people have their opinion. Man, you go to work. I mean, you stay at home. She go to work. You staying at home. But I'm raising my kids. It's
And and
simple.
and and, and if it's like you said, if two parties agree on it, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? Because yes, we know the scripture say if a man don't work, he don't eat, and if a man can't take care of his own household, he's worse than an unbeliever. But a man taking care of his household is not saying that that man is not working. So he's
Right.
taking care of his household. He's taking care of his household by he's at home, he's cleaning, he's cooking, he's dealt with them kids. If wifey is going to work and she the one that's making the money, but guess what? Where she is lacking, he's there. So he's taking up the slack. So I'm not gonna sit up there and look down on bro man because he ain't out there getting a job. But guess what? That is a work. That is a job within itself to be at home to make sure that you are disciplining the kids. Not only disciplining the kids, but giving them that balance, giving them that structure, raising them and being there supportive in various ways. I think that is very important. So I'm not gonna bash, bro, man, if you're not going bust 12 hours a day and be tired, and if that's what they agree on. If they don't agree on that and he just want to be at home and not go get a job, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Then bro man just being lazy
You just
and
being
he's
lazy.
using and he just using the kids as an excuse. I want to raise my kids. He's
That
using
part.
that as an excuse to stay in your rut. So
Yeah. Nah. Well, yeah. Don't think we justifying that because we're not.
yeah,
We're not
no
saying that's
justification in that part.
Uh, yeah, yeah, we're not saying that. But you know something else too? The father also could be working from home. The man might go to work from home job. Don't nobody owe that explanation to tell nobody why he at home. What if he working?
Exactly. And
If he
he
was
he
doing
he
his
very
job,
well
he
could be.
still working. You know, some men do work from home. So, but they don't have to tell you that.
Nah, that's none
So,
of your
you know,
business.
yeah, people work from home now. So, like, it's a lot of fathers stay at home, and that's what that is. But now I'm gonna let you join the conversation. You've been joining, which is good. But let me ask you something. Why are some fathers not active in the home and they know, listen, they know they're needed? Like, but I'm not saying they're wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong for not being there. I'm just asking you, why do you think some fathers are not active in the home, but they're so needed? Like, what occurs to where it's like basically how we said, a father can be at home again, but you just there. You're not really being active with anybody. You're not going through the motions of life, but you just there. Just to say you their daddy, I guess, or you their father. Like, but I'm not, like I said, it's reasoning for that though. It's the reason why a man will just be at home and just going through the motions, but not really caring and not be active. And kids can sense that. It's reasons for it, and it's various reasons. I'm sure every household is different. You know, they had the issues, but I'm just wondering if you know as a father that, oh man, my kid really need me, or whatever. But you know, something else I noticed too, and I'm gonna let you answer. Some people be going through, like I just talked to somebody a couple of days ago, and speaking of their mother passing away, and the way the head fell, and the way the tears dropped,
Mm-hmm. Same.
when
Yeah.
a man loses their mother, like a man lose their father and a man lose their mother. Okay. But it's something about when they lose, like a man loses his parents and they was close to him,
Hold on,
like,
I'm gonna get my chair. Hold on. I still hear you. I just gotta
okay,
move. I had to move locations because that sun was beating bro man up.
I know it is so pretty. I'm sitting outside too. I'm like, man, it's so pretty. But yeah. But I guess I'm saying like, I feel like sometimes grief, people men especially don't deal with grief well. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a relationship, a few years back, whatever, and his mom passed away. Man, the man went to the penitentiary. I ain't lying. Just
Oh
spiraled out of
wow.
control. Didn't deal with the grief. Just didn't care no more, and everything just got out of hand. And it was like, wow. So I say that to say I think that when I say men are in the home, but I've seen women do this too. They're in the home, but you have to remember if they're grieving, like grief is really really something. Grief is something that if you don't know how to deal with it, it can really take over and for the worse.
Yeah,
Cause
I
like,
agree.
people are out here missing, they're missing their fathers, they're missing, we talking about fathers, I'm gonna keep it about fathers, but they're missing their fathers. Like if they passed away or just not in their life or whatever. So my thing has always been just say you didn't ever meet your father at this age right now. Do you think your attitude would be as pleasant as it is now about your dad, knowing here it is all these years later, you in your 40s or almost 50s, and you still haven't met him, seen him, or talked to him or nothing? Do you think you would have the same cheery aspect and perspective about it? I personally, I don't think. I mean, I haven't been around you in years, but I just know just through who a person feelings and how they are, you probably wouldn't be as gentle and understanding and about a lot of stuff right now as you are.
Probably wouldn't, unless it's God's move, because it really took God for me to forgive my father. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It really took God. God was like, I was like, nah, I'm his child. He's supposed to come to me. And God was like, nah, you need to go to him. Because the
mm,
scriptures say honor your father and your mother.
yeah.
So if I hadn't made it right with my father and haven't no, didn't know, because then here's the whole thing. I didn't say it, but I knew who my father was. I used to go over to my grandmother's house, his mom, as a kid. I used to go over there. But it's like, though you lived in Beaumont, Texas, I told my dad, like, Dad, I told him to his face, like, I don't even think you remember my birthday. Cause I
Mm,
could my last birthday was 15. And I don't remember any more birthdays after that.
mm,
Like you ain't never come around for any more birthdays. And
mm.
so that right there stuck with me. And then when I told him that to his face, he smiled and he said, yeah, I know when your birthday is. So right about now, if it had not been for God softening my heart and opening up my eyes
Yeah.
to realize something far greater than my feelings, my hurt
Mhm.
and my pain. So I had to release that. And in order to release the pain, I had to forgive him. Forgiveness was for me. It
Right.
was to release me. And so if I still didn't know who my dad was, I probably wouldn't have the same mindset and the same attitude about it if it had not been for God. I probably still been wilding out until
Mhm.
I had to come to grips with myself like, man, I'm a man. I have to learn from it. So I always told myself I was going to be better than my dad. I wasn't
Mhm.
going to be an absent father. And I always wanted a family. I always wanted a family of my own because growing up as a child, I wanted that. I wanted my mom and dad. I wanted to come home and be like, hey, dad, when I go to other people's houses, I see they mom and they dad together, but what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? Because I look at it like, man, what's wrong with me that
So
I
let me
don't
say
have that?
that. So right there, what you just said, that is my point about it. It causes a wedge in your heart
Hmm.
to like. Do you okay? I guess I'm trying to say because I say this all the time. I feel like it prevents you from being loving, not from being a loving person. I'm saying it prevents you from if you got malice, like you said, and you holding grudges in your heart. When you get to be an adult and you start trying to, date women and marry women, this and that, I feel and women vice versa. But like I said, we're talking about fathers and men right now. I feel like if your heart is not clear or if you're still holding on to past things, or and this is for anybody though, and then if you're grieving about a situation, or you grieving about a, it's kind of hard, like you said, if you don't go to God and ask, God to help you, you don't never have to forget it, but you forgive it. And once you
Yeah.
do that, once your hands clean with it, it's easy to go on and try to do other things in life with it. But I feel like you said, if that's that kind of person, it's hard to go into an adult life and date people and create families if your heart ain't right. And a lot of us, that's what we done. We just jumped
Fact.
out there, had kids, and had another one and another. Like, wait a minute, man. You look back. I look back now. I'm 48. I had 3 kids, and I look back now and go, ooh, because I just realized the other day. I told my son, he my baby. He gonna be 20 in May, and I got girls 28 and 30. I told him, I say,
Hmm.
do you realize when I was 21, I already had 2 kids?
Oh
But you know what?
wow.
My life went so bad. My life went so fast. I wanted to do anybody realize that. I I'm at 40 some years old and I was like, girl, when you was 21, you already had 2 little girls. Like, what? And then raised them. And now I got 4 grandkids. Like, life went like that. But like I say, I just know that, when, like you said, forgiving, but I think it's really, I don't know. I feel like men, like you say, men should really look at the big picture here. And then I think we would have a lot more clarity on what really the situation is. And just like, I wanted to say, the challenges that fathers face in the home. I got 3 right here, but I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think some adversities are for the father in the home? Whether it's good
Uh,
or bad, if your challenges are always obstacles, so we gonna say, what's the bad part, I guess. But what is the challenge that a father, I have 3 myself, but what do you say?
some of the time, that's a good question.
I know.
Um, One, it could be a challenge is not you not having your father in the home, and I would say it's a mental challenge. One of the challenges is mentally knowing how to raise a kid,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what to do, and not having the support of your spouse to be able to be there for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me see what else could be another challenge.
That's good because I have that. I have mental health struggles for one. That's one of
Yeah,
my gives a man a real mental. It says health, and that's what I was discussing with people. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm having a really hard time with stress and managing it. Like I never thought I would have to just be like, because it keeps sending me to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And my doctor
wow.
explained to me that my stress level, and I'm like, how do you control stress? Like if you're not trying to think about being stressed out or whatever, but it's there and you don't even know it. So I know, like I said, a lot of men have health issues and still trying to work and still trying to push. And it's like you need to go to the doctor, get yourself checked. Like men need to be more healthier, in my opinion. Just what I'm seeing. I see a few people. I'm like, gotta go to the doctor, man. You gotta, but it's in a man's nature to just push,
Yeah,
not stop and go to the doctor for what? I ain't got time for that. I need to work. I got to make money. And that's so sad that that has become, that's the image of a man, that he can't stop and take care of himself or better himself. He got to work, work, work. Now that's what needs to flip. Like, a lot of stuff in the world don't flip for the worse and we don't know why. Men need to learn to, at 40, late 40s and 50s, what's happening? Prostate. I'm seeing a lot of friends having surgeries or passing away from prostate.
yeah,
Men,
because
go ahead.
yeah, because like it's like your health is your wealth. So to be there, like I was telling one of my good friends, I say, man, before you could be there for the kids, the grandkids, you got to be there for you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm,
saying? You got to be able to take care of self. If you're not even good for yourself, how can you be good for anybody else? So you can't be useful, you can't be beneficial, you can't be helpful, but so it all deals with your mental because everything starts with the mind. So if I feel like I'm not good enough, if I think I'm not good enough, if I think I don't view myself as valuable to my family and I feel like I'm nothing, guess what? Nothing is gonna come from nothing. So I'm not gonna be no supportive. I'm not gonna be able to raise my kids. I'm not gonna be able to take care of my responsibility. Why? Because I feel like I'm less than, and that could be coming from childhood trauma. So that could be that. That's the whole challenge. That's the main issues. And when you think about it, and another challenge to being able to raise a kid, it could be like you don't have the money. You feel like you need money. Money is the whole world. Like I don't have a job and I can't provide for my kids like I should. And that's another challenge,
That's hard. That's
and
that's what do you call that? Like when a man is going like I don't know. You seen it on Good Times. They told us in the show and they said, look at James Evans. Man tried to work all his life and
yes,
just couldn't get it. Just couldn't get it. Like it was just the worst stuff ever. But it's a reality. And I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, it is what it is when you have to take a race and say what you got to say about a race that a black man. It's really sometimes it's really tough out here. And to find a job, keep a job, maintain the monies that you need, and trying to take care of everybody, it's a real hard struggle sometimes. So mentally, they say the mental struggle, isolation. Men will isolate themselves. I done seen it. They will isolate themselves, and you don't know what's wrong because they're trying to figure out how to get to the next step without messing up. What man, what father, and this is what people have to consider. What father wants to screw up in front of his family? He doesn't.
yes. No, not
Father
not not a
never
father
wants
in
to
his
drop.
right mind.
Yeah, a father never wants to drop the ball like to the family. It's so it's just embarrassing for him, and I get it because it's the way that society has built it to look like the man's supposed to provide and da 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 and da 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 da. Well, now tables have turned. We know tables turn. Like this world done flipped upside down, and so I feel like what used to happen don't have to happen no more. Just make it out. If I had a husband, like I said, I'm single. I had a husband in the home and this and that. There's a lot of things now I probably would do different than what I did 15, 20 years ago living with somebody because I now know better. Don't make the same mistakes. Don't do the same stuff you did. But now you should know better. Now it should be smooth for you. Because you didn't experience the worst, I'm sure. At
Yeah,
almost 50 or plus 50 plus years old, I'm sure in 50 years we've experienced something to let us know, ooh, the next time I'm gonna do it better and try to do it, right. So yeah, isolation, mental health struggles, and unclear role definition. That's a big one. Unclear role definition in the home. What you feel about that? Like, dad, the father is the father, the mother is the mother, but I've seen some mothers overstep their boundaries to some fathers, and it's like, ooh. So now the father feel like what, and I'm telling you, the father feel like what the hell I'm doing here then. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
When
And
you're not letting when you're not letting the man take his lead and play his part, like you already know your role. You already
and
know your role.
once you embarrass him in front of the children, you pretty much can hang it up. You can hang it up. I'm telling
It's
you.
hard to win there. Yeah, it's hard to get that cooperation back again because you didn't already
Yeah.
embarrass me, and so it has to be not like one of the things that I have done. Like I try not to. We try to hide what our arguments is between my wife and I. So we try to don't
Mhm.
let the kids see what we do. If we're
Good.
upset, we try not to with that because that's none of their business. And
That
so I'm
part.
not going to disrespect you in front of them, and she's not going to disrespect me in front of them. So
Mhm.
we have that balance. And if it's something that we need to discuss, we'll make sure that's our pillow talk conversation. So those roadblocks, road barriers to your question, you have to let that man be the man. Let that man play his role because it's like why you have me on the team and you not let me do what you drafted me for. You knew who I was before
Mhm.
we got married and got together. So yes, I know we change over time, but you knew who I was. I'm their father. Let me do my part. If I need your input, then give it to me. Because I don't think I'm the wisest man, the smartest man. I'm not a perfect man. So yes, I'm not gonna belittle or put you beneath me and not accept what you have to bring to me because I'm gonna keep an open mind. So, but just let me play my role. If I
Mhm.
need you, then hey, feel free to step in. But if you want me to be dad, let me be dad. If you want me to be father, let me be father. If you want me to be the disciplinary, let me be the disciplinary. If you want me to be the father counselor, let me do that. But don't say all you want me to do is just go to work and just pay the bills and then buy school clothes, but I can't tell them what to do. I can't tell them to clean their room. I can't tell them to do their chores. I can't tell them, what's right, what's wrong. I can't talk to them about the birds and the bees. I can't talk to them about no relationship. You want to talk to them about it? Well, all right, I'm gonna get
What you
out the
doing
way.
that in? What you doing that in? Cause you just gonna give us all your money and never have input on it. Come on, man, that's draining.
Nah,
So
before you know it, bruh man gone. He gone to the fifth floor.
and they leave. They leave now. Men leave home now. They do not care about no kids being there or nothing. They leave home. So I have seen that happen, and like I said, it is. It I don't know. It's something. The way people live now is just so bizarre to me. It's so
Hello.
bizarre what's happening in homes and how people just don't care, and it's just. But I can leave.
All right now.
I can
I
leave
was
and
speaking
say,
to my neighbor.
"Oh no, you could." I can leave today and know that there are fathers out there that do care. There are fathers
Yes.
out there that deserve better than what they're getting. So my advice to women though, when it comes to fathers in the home and you are a wife or you a significant other and you have respect, respect each other. Respect each other's space and respect each other in the home, especially in front of the kids. If y'all got a problem, take it to the bedroom. No, because these kids now they don't care. They're gonna join in. He let
Yes.
them
And
come.
that's
Oh my God, they right there with him. Yeah, mama, cause mama this and because man, don't talk to them kids about y'all. Don't talk to them kids about that. They
and you
waiting for
right about that. You right about that because you
you
can't
not
talk about because
discuss
if you
that.
feel like you talk to the kids about dad in the wrong way, how are you expecting the kids to respect dad? They're not, and vice versa. If dad talk to the kids crazy about mom is this, he that. Guess what? The kids are not going to respect. They're not going to respect mom. They're not going to respect dad because you disrespect. So why should I respect
And all that cursing, boy, once you call each other out your name in front of the kids, like it just creates a bad aura, and it ain't gonna, and they're never gonna forget it. They're never gonna forget it. So now the household just in shambles. Just throw the whole house away. Bye.
them? Yes,
I
is
hate
in a
to be like
fire.
that, but serious. It's just like so. If you do have that lifestyle going on, you do have a mother and father in the home. My suggestion to the community, to people, period, try to savor what you can with it. Try to make it work. Try to, if you got to go back and revamp and have family conversations. Invite the family in the living room, the mama, daddy, the kids. Y'all sit around and have movie night. Turn them phones off, like for real. All that. In my if I had all that, my kids grown now. But if I had it, I would. I used to make them come watch movies with me. We had movie night. Like
You got to
no,
fight
one
for it.
phone. Yeah, the games, everything. Electronic night was for a couple of nights. We put everything on hold. So, like I say, it can happen. But is there anything? I know we've been on here. We doing good to good old hour talk. But anything you want to close with before we close out?
Okay, so just to touch on this, so our fathers is not just biological fathers because some men are um in blended households.
Hmm.
So you got blended households, and so you got substitute dads.
And they're adopting
So
these kids too.
so here it is. You have a father in the home, a man that is not um two say all of the kids are not for this particular man, but then you have some that is for the particular man. And when it comes to a part, the reason why this man is frustrated because he's paying the bills, he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing, but he don't have no say so when it comes to the kids. That is
Mhm.
frustration and heartbreaking. That will make a man flee. So if and me and my mom we talked about it like this here. If I have some step kids and no, they're not my kids, but I put a roof over their head. take them to school, I do everything that a dad's supposed to be doing, a father's supposed to be doing, and I spend my money on them, and I have no say so. I told my mom, I said, in Christ or not in Christ, you and your kids can go.
That's
You and
fair.
your kids could go because if I could spend my money on your kids, buying them something to eat, taking them to the doctor, doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing as a father, but they're not mine, but I take care of them. And when it comes to disciplinary actions, when it comes to me telling them you can't do this and you can't do that, I don't have no say so over it. That is heartbreaking because I'm spending my money. I'm doing everything. I'm spending my money, my time, my energy, and pouring it into these kids, but then I can't say anything when it comes to discipline. That's a problem. If I can't discipline your child, hey, yeah, I'm gonna let you know what's going on. But if I can't discipline, but I can spend my money, then we got a problem.
Yeah, that's the big
I
problem.
can, yeah, we got a problem. So, uh, especially if a man is really stepping up and trying to take care of business, let that man be a man and let that man take care of the responsibility. And responsibility is is the ability to respond. And when you're talking about responsibility, having the ability to respond, that's a man's responsibility. He have the ability to raise his family. He have ability to be there for his kids. He have the ability to respond to the wife's needs, to the kids' needs, and meet them where they are, and be able to provide his family with the stability, with the love, and everything that it involves a successful home. And so responsibility is key. That this man is vital in the home. And if this man is willing to sacrifice time, love, and money, let that man do it. Let that man do
See, and that's a simple. That's simple. That's simple. Let him do it. And you
it.
know
Let him
what?
do it.
A woman's job wouldn't be. I feel like this, like you said, let him do it. Then the mothers in the home, their job would be a whole lot easier. Let the man handle it. Let him out.
Yeah,
He got some kids. He know what to do. He know how to make them sit down. He know how to make them quit jumping around the house, and he know how to make them clean up. You just gotta let him do it. It's so many moms that done took force, and they used to be a single mom. So, like you said, when you have a bleeding family, you have a man coming into the house. She done already dictated the whole army. So what does
yeah,
he have to do? And so that's where you have to, as a woman, you want to have another husband, or you want to have a significant other living with you and your children. Then you have to know you have to dim down, and let him come in and start the show. Then
yeah.
that's what.
Let him. That's it.
So, well, I have my final word, Miss Fee's final word. Engaged fatherhood has always been a great look to me. Fathers are trying to balance being a strong leader, but also being nurturing and gentle. So my advice to that, to everybody, just let's ease up a little bit on the fathers. If you having problems and challenges, look back, sit back, talk about it, see what it is. Um, and to go from there, because right now a father is just, a father is looked upon like Father's Day is a big joke. I swear, it's the most
Mm,
ridiculous holiday it is. And I really, I was big on Father's Day because I feel like, that's the person that, that's the breadwinner. That's what's going on. So let's make sure that person, that's one day out the year. At least you should make sure they feel so good that one day and their birthday. But Father's Day looks so upon, it's frowned upon. It's just awful. But like I say, that's just a made up holiday though. So don't take Father's Day and just buy the father that now. Make him feel like that all the time. You know
every
what I'm saying?
day.
Just on a
Every day
random.
is Father's
Like,
Day. Yeah, every day.
kids need to learn why they getting their nails done and why they getting clothes and why they going over here with their friends. Stop and ask your daddy, do he want something? This man give you his all. Done bought you a car at 16 and sent you to prom in the G-Wagon and all that. Y'all don't even ask y'all daddy, do they want something? You done got a paycheck. You got about 300-400 in your pocket. You 15 years old. You don't want your daddy might just want, hell, he might just want a soda water. You know what I'm saying? Just something simple. Your daddy bought you a soda.
Uh, you know, when
Because
you
if
said
they can
that,
know that I'm watching out for you, I got you, I'll notice what you do. Yeah, that's another thing too. It ain't just on the mothers who being facetious with the dads and not letting them be dads. The kids too though. Some kids really be out here doing a lot of stuff causing their daddy some stress. And I know this to be true. So kids need to back up. Yeah, kids need to back up too though on that. But like I said, it was a joy talking to you. I am so glad that your life has turned around for the better. I'm so, happy that you have a family to love and to be blessed with. And I hope, continue. I did meet your son that day. Very respectable young man. So you're doing a great job, like I said. And kudos to you and your wife for working together and getting it done. And I really appreciate you taking out the time today to be on the Powdered Donuts. And
Yes,
hopefully
yes.
we'll be on there again soon. And I am coming back to Beaumont soon because I miss y'all. I miss it. I miss it. That visit I did, I miss it. So I will be back that way soon. And maybe we could podcast for a whole full day out there. I don't know. But it
Yeah,
was
let me
very
know. Let me know when
good.
you're coming out here. Yeah, let me
I
know. I
will.
would love to see you again. And thank you for having me. This is my first podcast show.
Oh,
First time
is
ever being on a podcast. So this is my
it?
first, and I thank God for it. And it was a
Oh,
wonderful topic. You know, because I feel like with a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, it's because of missing fathers. The absentee of a father. You know what I'm saying? Because I think 80%, and I know we're about to close, because 80% of the homes without a father is chaos. And you have 80% of a father in the home, the success rate is higher. Less pregnancy, less drug activity if the fathers are present. And it's 80-20. But if the father is absent, it's 20-80.
right.
It's 20-80. So yeah, the table just turned. So, but this is great. I thank God for this opportunity. And I give God all the glory because if it had not been for Him, I know I wouldn't be where I am today. So I give God all the glory. And thank God for you. You've been through so much and you still pushing. So,
Yes.
man. So you continue to keep fighting for the people. You know what I'm saying? And so you got an awesome testimony, and just continue to keep using your gift, and your gift will continue to keep making room for you.
Well, thank you, and God bless you too and your family. And my next podcast is going to be with another classmate. Y'all gonna see. I'm so surprised. I love it. She made a post a couple of days ago, and it was about dating, but it was so deep, and it was just there for me. And I was like, hey man, I need to get you on. So y'all know, I graduated with a Farah. D is her name on Facebook. That's my next topic. It'll be dating and why it's just so impossible. It's in shambles, and we're gonna talk about it and see what's going on out here because some of us still want to date. Some of us are not Meg Thee Stallion and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Oh, and then I want to tune in and see what it's all about.
Well, we can pull you in. We can pull you in on that convo too. I'm gonna see who want to join in the convo. Probably Wednesday night. I'm thinking. So, like I said, I'll get it together, put it out there, and hopefully, I'll talk to you soon. But I appreciate you, and you having a good rest of your day.
Yes, ma'am. You do the same.
Thank
Peace
you.
and blessings.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the Powder Donut.